This film begins with a little girl named Lindy Lewis. She has a problem called intermittent explosive disorder, which makes her get angry and violent very easily, even over small things. Because of this, Lindy is stronger and has faster reflexes than most people. Her parents took her to a mental hospital to get better, but she couldn't be cured even when she grew up. In the mental hospital, a mysterious group wanted to use Lindy because of her unique abilities, but they couldn't control her anger. The same thing happened when she joined the military. She still couldn't control her anger, which often exploded. After many failed attempts to help her, Lindy met a psychiatrist named Dr. Ivan Munchin. He made an electroshock vest to help control her anger. Lindy has to wear the vest every day. When she feels her anger rising, she has to press a remote button that sends electricity through the vest to calm her down. With the electroshock vest, Lindy started to live a more normal life. Sometime later, Ivan suggested that Lindy go on a date to see if she could have a healthy relationship with someone. Lindy really wanted a normal life, so she decided to go on a date with an accountant named Justin. When they got to the restaurant, Lindy worried that Justin might make her angry. But he was calm and nice, and Lindy felt better because they could talk about many things. While they were talking, a waitress came to take their order. When the waitress heard they weren't ready to order, she said she would give their table to other customers. This made Lindy upset, and she thought about attacking the waitress with a knife. But Justin quickly ordered some food, which helped Lindy calm down, and she let go of the knife. To calm herself more, Lindy asked to go to the bathroom. While washing her hands, she overheard the waitress on the phone in one of the stalls. The waitress was talking about how she tricked a couple into ordering food quickly. Realizing the couple was her and Justin, Lindy couldn't control her anger and went into the stall to beat up the waitress until she passed out. Because of this incident, the next day, Lindy went to see Ivan and asked him to fix the electroshock vest, thinking it wasn't working to calm her anger. After checking, Ivan said the device wasn't broken. He told Lindy that she shouldn't rely on it too much and that she needed to learn to build healthy emotional relationships to control her anger better. Following Ivan's advice, Lindy contacted Justin to go on another date. That evening, they walked in the park and talked about their lives, including Justin's job as an accountant. Later, Lindy and Justin were kissing in front of her apartment door. Then, Justin hinted that he wanted to sleep together, but Lindy wasn't sure because she was afraid she might lose control and hurt him. But Justin reassured her, and eventually, Lindy invited him into her room. When Lindy took off her clothes, Justin saw the electroshock vest she was wearing, but he said he didn't mind. This gave her the confidence to sleep with him. The next morning, Justin made breakfast for Lindy and even gave her a camera as a gift. She was very happy because she loved photography. Justin asked about the electroshock vest Lindy was wearing, and after she explained it, he accepted her as she was. At that time, Lindy fell more in love with Justin, especially when he invited her to have dinner at his house. After Justin went to work, Lindy visited Ivan in a great mood to tell him about her successful date. Ivan reminded her to keep doing therapy for her behavior disorder, but Lindy didn't listen. She decided to enjoy her day by taking photos with her new camera. That evening, Lindy got ready and called Justin to tell him she was heading to his house. Strangely, someone from the police answered the call and asked Lindy to come over. Arriving at the police station, Lindy met Detective Vickers and Detective Nevin. They told her that they found Justin's body in a trash can and he had been shot in the head. When Lindy asked for more details, Nevin refused to give any information. This made Lindy very angry, and she thought about shooting Nevin. But Lindy pressed the button on her electroshock vest to calm down and decided to leave the station. Vickers gave her a business card so she could contact him if she found any information about Justin's death. The next day, Lindy sat in the park, feeling sad about how her relationship ended so tragically. Later, she went to see Ivan, where she got very angry and hit him, saying that all the therapy sessions were useless. She blamed Ivan for Justin's death and the failed date. Seeing that Lindy was out of control, Ivan injected her with a sedative. When Lindy woke up, she was still in Ivan's office. She decided she wanted to find Justin's killer. There, Ivan warned her not to do anything reckless and said she should focus on her therapy to deal with her behavior disorder. But Lindy didn't care about her treatment anymore, and she was determined to get revenge for Justin's death. After leaving Ivan's office, Lindy called the number on the business card that Vickers had given her. She lied, saying she had new information about Justin's death. Without hesitation, Vickers and Nevin rushed to meet her. Lindy used this opportunity to enter the police station and take Justin's belongings from the evidence room, including the murder file and his ID card. With Justin's address, Lindy went to his house to investigate. But before she could do anything, Vickers called her, knowing she had stolen from the police station. He had also found out about Lindy's history of violence due to her anger issues. Lindy realized the police had surrounded the house. Soon after, Vickers and Nevin came in to arrest her. Using her martial arts skills, Lindy managed to defeat Nevin and then escaped in Justin's sports car. Vickers and Nevin tried to chase her, but they couldn't catch Lindy. Their car crashed into a truck parked on the side of the road. After escaping from the detectives, Lindy went to an electronics shop to meet the best hacker who worked there. The employee introduced Lindy to a female hacker named Andy. Then, Lindy asked Andy to check Justin's phone to find out who had called him. With Andy's help, Lindy found out that the last call Justin received came from an abandoned building owned by Barry, a well-known gangster targeted by the FBI for illegal arms trafficking. That night, Lindy went to the abandoned building, which Barry used for underground fighting. Fearlessly, she walked into the middle of a fight and demanded that Barry tell her who killed Justin. Hearing that, Barry agreed on the condition that Lindy defeat 3 of his fighters. Lindy accepted and quickly defeated 2 fighters. Impressed by her strength, Barry stopped the fight and led her to the house of Justin's killer. On the way, Lindy realized that Barry had lied and planned to kill her. She managed to stop Barry's plan by beating up his men and tying Barry to the car hood while electrocuting him. Under torture, Barry revealed that his boss, Gareth Fizzle, was behind Justin's murder. However, Barry didn't know why Gareth killed Justin. Another time, Lindy visited Vickers in the hospital. He was still recovering from the car accident that happened while chasing her. At that time, Lindy forced Vickers to tell her where Gareth lived. Vickers finally told her that Gareth lived in the Imperium Tower building in the middle of the city. Vickers warned Lindy not to deal with Gareth, who was a dangerous gangster. But Lindy didn't care and was determined to get revenge for Justin's death. While at the hospital, Nevin spotted Lindy and tried to catch her. Lindy managed to escape. Later, Lindy arrived at the Imperium Tower. When she went inside, she was greeted by Delacroix, Gareth's right-hand man. Delacroix told her to take the elevator to the top floor, but then knocked her out. When Lindy woke up, she was tied up in a room, and her electroshock vest was removed. Delacroix asked why she was there. Lindy said she wanted revenge on Gareth for killing Justin. Delacroix said that no one knew anyone named Justin, who worked as an accountant. Because of this, Delacroix's men took Lindy home. Meanwhile, Delacroix met Gareth, an old man who was exercising. When Delacroix told Gareth about Lindy's revenge plan, Gareth said he didn't know Justin at all. Even so, Gareth ordered Delacroix to get rid of Lindy to avoid any potential danger from her entering the Imperium Tower. Turns out, Lindy didn't go straight home. Instead, she went to Ivan's house to tell him someone had taken her electroshock vest. She asked Ivan for another one. Ivan agreed to give her a new vest if she promised to stop chasing Justin's killer. Lindy said she couldn't do that but promised to solve the problem without hurting innocent people. The next morning, when Lindy arrived at her apartment, she noticed the number on her door was upside down, a sign that someone had entered her place. To find out what happened, Lindy entered through the window and discovered a bomb planted behind her door. Realizing she was a target, Lindy reassembled the bomb and set the trigger in the microwave, timing it to explode. She planned to blow up her apartment so her enemies would think she was dead. After setting up the bomb, Lindy quickly left before it exploded. Soon after, she went to Vickers, who was watching her from a car parked near the apartment. Casually, Lindy got into the car and gave the camera Justin had given her to the detective. While Vickers was talking, the bomb in Lindy's apartment exploded, causing chaos. Lindy used the opportunity to escape from Vickers. Lindy then returned to the Imperium Tower, climbing the building. Unexpectedly, Delacroix was waiting for her and took her to see Gareth. During the meeting, Delacroix knocked Lindy out again and took her to a room. When Lindy woke up, Delacroix tried to kill her by draining her blood. Lindy couldn't press the remote for her electroshock vest to control her anger, but she managed to untie her hands and attack Delacroix. They fought, and Delacroix almost hung Lindy with an iron chain. However, Lindy turned the tables and paralyzed Delacroix. She cut off his finger and took him outside the room, where she had to face Gareth's guards again. After defeating the guards, Lindy used Delacroix's fingerprint to open the door to Gareth's room. Inside, she found Gareth dead at his desk with a gunshot wound to his head. While Lindy was still trying to understand what was happening, Justin, who was still alive, appeared and applauded her for making it to the room. Justin revealed that he was a CIA agent who had pretended to be an accountant to get close to Lindy. He used her as bait to distract Gareth so he could kill him more easily. Justin also revealed that the CIA had been experimenting on Lindy by sending Ivan to monitor her. Angry, Lindy tried to attack Justin, but he easily stopped her by pressing the remote for her electroshock vest. However, her anger became so intense that the vest stopped working. In her rage, Lindy threw a bag with a bomb at Justin. He was shocked but couldn't save himself as the bomb exploded just as Lindy reached the elevator to escape. Lindy then went to Ivan's house to confront him about the truth. Ivan admitted everything while Lindy pointed a gun at him. Before she could do anything, Vickers and Nevin arrived and tried to stop her. Lindy was detained for questioning about the explosion at the Imperium Tower. The following day, while Lindy was in the hospital, Vickers and Nevin visited her for questioning. Lindy explained that she was only protecting herself from Gareth's men who wanted to kill her. Based on this, Vickers and Nevin decided not to charge Lindy with murder. Before leaving, Vickers returned the camera Lindy had given him. After being released from the hospital, Lindy decided to give the camera to a homeless person on the street. At the end of the film, Lindy enters her apartment, which was destroyed by the explosion. Suddenly, a woman appears and says she is a member of the CIA. She explains that the CIA had planned the experiment on Lindy and apologizes for how Justin treated her. She hopes that these events will help Lindy control her emotions because Lindy was being trained to become a CIA assassin. The film ends. The moral lesson from this film is if your date turns out to be a secret agent using you as bait, just remember to always keep a spare electroshock vest and maybe avoid dating accountants. Plus, explosions aren't a great way to redecorate your apartment.